Welcome to Sam's Russian Adventures. I'm Sam, an English guy living in provincial Russia, and it's January and it's 4 degrees and it's so weird, so strange. I can walk around without a hat on, without gloves on, and I'm feeling hot in my winter coat. It really is such a strange thing that's happening in Russia. The winter started like normal, we had a bit of snow, but for the last month and a half it has not been cold at all. It's been like winter in the UK, which is just really weird. So everywhere looks really gloomy right now. We've got no snow to cover everything up, and we've got no flowers either that are blossoming. So yeah, it's a really strange one right now in Russia. Now, if I could do anything in life, it would just be giving things away and helping people. I like nothing more than to help other people. If you watch my channel, then you'll see that, you know, not only do I, for example, take free phone calls from foreigners. If you're a foreigner and you want to come to Russia, I'll take a free phone call. I'm not trying to sell you anything at all, just give you the best advice that I can about potential of moving to Russia or living in Russia or life in Russia or any kind of Russia related questions you have. So if you do want to have a chat with me, you can book a free call with me, samsrussianadventures.com. I'll do my best to help you any way that I can. But what I love to do more than anything is to help other people. And I think for me, as someone who tries to be a good Christian, is about helping other people. That's what it's all about for me. And you know, I don't want to be saying, oh look, I'm Christian values, because I know that a lot of people, I mean, that's the buzzword right now in Russia, Christian values. And I know a lot of people talk about Christian values a lot, but don't seem to really help anyone apart from themselves. And so I don't want to say that I'm living for Christian values, because really I think the people that say Christian values really just use it to mask and get people to, you know, I don't know, to help them. It's like these kind of preachers in the US, you know, that have got helicopters and all that kind of stuff, right? So I don't want to be like, sound like one of those people. But what I'd love to do more than anything in the world is help other people, and that's why I've got some incredible news for you today. But to start with, I'm going to go now and pick up a parcel that's been delivered from like a local pickup point, because, well, I'll tell you about it in a bit because it's getting a bit noisy. So typically this will be completely covered in snow, but there's no snow at all. It's really crazy, just boggy mud, and you expect it to be like this in maybe April, but it'll be getting warm, everything will dry up, whereas it's not going to dry because it's winter. So here we've got a chicken shop, Pavlovskaya Kurachka, which is basically a chicken. And then we've got this deck pickup point where I'm going to now. We've got, look here next door, can you see what that says? This is the kind of place you're going to be going to if you're a foreigner moving to Russia. Photos and your documents to be printed and all that kind of stuff. And look at this, this is Russia. How good is this? We've got a pushchair with a bag with some shopping in, no one's taking it. Then we've got Wild Breeze, which is like pretty much like Amazon. We've got a phone shop, we've got a chemist or pharmacy as you say in the US, a hairdresser's, place where you can buy fresh meat, and it says a medicine laboratory. I guess it's a doctor's. So typically when I like to help people, it's either random acts of kindness, things that they don't expect at all, or I like to help the elderly. Now if you've been watching my channel for a while, then you'll know that we've helped quite a few people already, and I've already had 4 or 5 times where we've raised donations and money to help people. We helped Martin when his house was flooded. In fact, Martin, I still owe you 200 quid. I'll send you it today. We've helped an old lady who was in need. We've helped actually a few old women that were in need, and we've still got 100,000 rubles in the Babushka fund, and I'll tell you a bit more about that as we go on today. So what I have here is, well, I saw a lady on Instagram post that she would dream to have a birthday present of this particular, well, kind of, what's it called, jewellery. So I don't really know the lady at all, but I thought, you know, she basically put it on Instagram to say, hey, if anyone wants to buy this for my birthday, then I'd love it. It was more of a joke than anything else. She doesn't expect anyone to buy it for her. So what did I do? bought it for her. We're just going to go and deliver it through a mutual friend. She's not going to know it's come from me or anything, and it's going to be great for her. Blimey, it's really kind of weird. Look how crazy dirty it is. Let's have a look at this, see what it's like. Oh, you can never open things with one hand when you got the camera. So I'm doing a bit of a balancing act here with the camera and everything going on, and trying to this is going to be one of those unboxing videos that unboxing goes wrong. So basically it's a necklace, and this is the front part of it. Look, check out this new house here. It's pretty nice, isn't it? What do you think? So just as I was going past that nice new house, I saw something that was really weird, because this is generally a Soviet area, right? So kind of panel houses and stuff like that. And we've got that brand new apartment, which is kind of strange. This is something that happens in Russia a lot, right? You're going to get brand new houses appearing mixed in with all different other types of buildings. Now often we get brand new areas, but we still also get these, you know, houses just mixed in the middle of nowhere. But what I've noticed is there's a couple of just small privately owned houses just kind of there in between everything, and it must be really weird to live there. So we do actually have another kind of quite new building. Let's say probably 10-15 years that's been there, so they're not all old like this one. But over here we've just got a few houses that are kind of like fenced off, and they're just, it's just strange to see just like a couple of houses like this. It really is miserable right now looking in Russia because of the lack of snow. It's so strange. Everything is just looking, I don't know, not picture postcard anyway. So right now we're at the back of the houses that I was going to come and look at, and it's just weird that they're here because we're surrounded by huge apartment buildings, and we've got a main road just there, and there's only like 5 of them. And so I'm guessing at one point there was a lot of these small private houses here, but slowly over time they've been knocked down, and we've had lots of modern and not so modern high-rises built here, and then there's just these kind of 5 just on their own left. It's such a strange thing. What do you think? It's looking pretty gloomy, right? I've got to say. So the chances are that this was dumped here when it snowed. The snow's melted and it's still here now, and it feels like spring with all this water, but as I've said, it's January. So it's so weird. And look at this for contrast, right? You've got this brand new like glass looking modern building, and then this next door to it. And I found the only bit of ice, it's either ice or mud, so I'm walking on ice. So here we go, the brand new building, and then these, and this looks like, you know, I can see some flowers in the window, so people are living there. It's just strange, really strange feeling as to where it is. I've never noticed it before. I've driven past here so many times, and it's just weird. What do you think? Would you like to live in one of these houses here, completely surrounded by high-rise apartment buildings? And look at this, this is great. Yandex Dostavka, Yandex delivery point. Obviously it's not. I can't believe the amount of times I've been here and I've never noticed these houses ever. I've always driven past it, probably 1,000 times I've been down this road. We've got like allotments here and everything, but it's not like it's in a village or in its own little private area. It's literally, as I said, just like there's literally 5 houses and that's it. Let me ask you a question. Is giving selfish? It's an interesting one, right? Because we give. Why do we give? We give mainly because we want to feel good about ourselves, right? Just like doing anything else. If you buy music or watch films or whatever it is, you do it because you want to feel good about yourself. And so, is it selfish? I guess the only difference is that obviously it helps you, and you feel good about yourself by giving, but at the same time somebody else benefits from it. So in that respect, it's a good hobby to have, right? It's probably better than just doing something for yourself. So I've come here to the gift wrapping place to get the gift wraps, obviously. Let's have a look at some of the bags here. That was great. This one says, "You've been annoying me for many years." What else have we got here? I'm at the sea, but it doesn't bother me. It's a play with words because the word for waves is the same word for bother me, so it doesn't really make sense in English. I'm a fan of these like strange balloons. In fact, I might get that one for her as well, why not? Check out how nice this is. Looks so good, doesn't it? Really pleased with that. So this is not a common occurrence here in Vladimir. Wow. Bentley, check out that bad boy. So what's the problem with giving? The problem with giving is, yeah, it's fine to do random acts of kindness to people that are not expecting a birthday gift or something like that. But when it comes to helping people in need, I always feel like there's so much more to do, and all I'm giving them is like a band-aid. You know, I'll go to a village and I'll see someone living in a really difficult situation and I want to help them. And we've done that. We've raised money through this channel before and helped people. But I always feel like all I'm doing is giving them like a month or 2 months worth of help, and then they're back in the same situation that they were before. And that's probably the worst thing about giving when it comes to wanting to help people. Now, I know a lot of people like to donate money to charities. I'm not really interested in donating money to charities. I prefer to do the process myself and to, I don't know, witness the change or whatever it is that takes place. So there's some people that have been left behind by the change from the Soviet planned economy to the capitalist modern Russia that we all know and love. And those people mainly are people that are in the Russian villages, not the villages so much near to the towns, but the further you go out, those villages, or perhaps small towns, towns that were monotowns. Now monotowns are towns where there was one industry, and that industry was something that was, you know, vital to the Soviet economy, but the Soviet Union collapsed and so did the industry. A lot of people in these villages would have worked at state farms. Now state farms, as soon as the Soviet Union collapsed, so did the state farm. Now a lot of them were privatized, but the infrastructure of the state farm was not ready to compete with international companies that were used to competing, because in a planned economy there isn't competition. So suddenly there was competition for value of money, quality, things like that. And so a lot of these state farms, even though they were privatized, they collapsed. And a lot of the people that lived in the village, they just remained in the village and were hoping and waiting for the state farm to reopen. 33 years later, there's no chance of those state farms opening now. There are some places where state farms have been turned into successful businesses, but with automation and all of that stuff, most of the people that relied and waited for the state farms to reopen are kind of stuck in the village. Their houses, their property is, well, pretty bad. And when I go to these places and I see these people living in a difficult situation, I want to help them, and I want to help them more than just giving them $100 to help them that month. I want to be able to follow the whole process through to get them living in a nice place and you know, basically make their life normal. And that is why I've come to the conclusion that I want to open my own charity in Russia. I want to be able to do more, to provide more. That is going to be my life goal. That is going to be my mission, to go out there and to help people the best that I possibly can. Just to go to these places and find people that are in need, that are in need of help, and I can take the project through right to the end to a place where I know that the person is now living a better life because of me, and not me just giving them a band-aid. Now, in Russia, one of the great things is that family look after people. So there's often times where, you know, someone's living in a bad situation, but their family members will look after them. But of course, there are people that fall through the cracks. Maybe the children die or something like that. They can't look after, right? They fall out with their parents or something like that, and they're left in a difficult position. And I want to help people more. So that's why I've decided to open the charity. It's a process that it's going to take a while. It's that kind of thing. As you can imagine, opening a charity is not an easy thing, but because I'm a Russian citizen, I can do that, and it's something that I really want to do. Instead of just me doing random things to help people, I want to be helping people more. And so that's the news for today. So I'm coming here to leave the gift, but I'm a bit worried, because imagine if the person who the person I'm giving the gift to is in here, because she's friends with the person I'm leaving the gift with, so it could be a bit awkward. So I've got it hidden now underneath the coat. Is that does that look normal, or does it look suspicious? So I've left the gift with my friend Masha, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to perhaps seeing her Instagram stories. Maybe she'll put a post on there saying, wow, who this is from, or whatever, and I'll add it to the video to show you.